Hello and welcome back to another video. It's another Football Manager video today. I enjoyed the last one so much that I'm doing it again, this time with a twist. I am taking one of the biggest rivalries in world football and putting it in the Premier League. That's right, Celtic and Rangers are being moved into the Premier League to see how they fare. I have a friend who is a Celtic fan, and a direct quote from him the other day was, "The way Celtic are playing at the moment, I think they'd finish in the top 6 in the Premier League." And it's always a battle in Scotland between Celtic and Rangers, so I thought, let's move them in the Premier League, see how they would actually do. But before we get into that, as always, remember to like the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and leave a comment with your thoughts and suggestions on what videos and what teams I should move into the Premier League next. So let's get into the video. So as you can see on the screen now, Celtic and Rangers have been put into the Premier League in place of Norwich City and Brentford. I decided to take two of the newly promoted teams out. Norwich, of course, had to go, and it was between Brentford and Watford. I decided to stick with my guy Ben Foster, the Cycling GK, to keep him in the Premier League. So Brentford and Norwich have been put into the Scottish Premier League. It was a direct swap. So at the end, we'll see how they did over there. So what I am going to do now is skip to the end of the summer transfer window, see what signings Celtic and Rangers make. I have upped their transfer and wage budget, as it was practically nothing on this game. So they've both got around 35-40 million to spend. So we have arrived at the end of the summer transfer window, and as you can see, Celtic lingering just above the relegation zone. A game in hand over Leeds United, the same amount of points and one goal above them on goal difference. That 1 point, I can tell you, came in the Glasgow derby. It was a 1-1 draw between Celtic and Rangers, one of the first games of the season. Poor scheduling there, I think. And Rangers themselves, 2 games in, sitting in 14th, 1 point above Celtic. So it's going to be a tasty start to the season there. See if they can get out of the bottom half of the table. Looking at Celtic's transfers now, obviously this does include the transfers that happened in real life pre-starting this game. So you've got the likes of Georgios, I'm not going to even attempt his last name. You've got the likes of Joe Hart in there as well. It doesn't look like they have brought too many players in themselves on this game, or too many players that are recognisable. John Guidetti always came up back in the day. I think he was an ex-Man City youth boy. Yes, he was. He is now a striker for Celtic. James McCarthy, I don't know if that was pre-game. I'm not sure. Oh, there's a Rangers transfer there. They've signed someone on a free transfer from Rangers. Kieran Dixon. Ah, his stats aren't showing up. That's great. But yeah, other than that, and you've got the transfers out over on this side. Most of them seem to have already happened. Now let's have a look at Rangers transfers. Who have they brought in? Ryan Fredericks from West Ham for 1.2 million. Charlie McCann from Man United. Other than that, it's free transfers. And outgoings, they've not really recouped a lot of money there. So that makes it very interesting leading into the January transfer window. They've still got a lot of money to spend. I did give them around 30 or 40 million, as I said. So will they get reinforcements in the January window? It looks like they're going to need it if they want to survive in this division. So we are back at the end of the January transfer window, and as you can see, Celtic and Rangers are struggling in the Premier League. Celtic haven't moved from that 18th position. Rangers have moved just a little bit lower down, just above the relegation zone. 5 points above Celtic with a game in hand. Rangers with the 4 wins this season, Celtic with the 3. Rangers 4 wins coming against Leeds, Crystal Palace, Leicester and Celtic. That's not a good sign for the Celtic fans. The Celtics 3 wins coming against Arsenal, Brighton and Aston Villa. Let's go in to see what they have done in the January transfer window. Starting at Celtic now, they made a fair few deadline day signings. Karim Rekic from Sevilla for £21 million. Solly March from Brighton for £6 million. Ander Guevara from Real San Sebastian for 2.4. 3.5 million spent on Oliver Norwood from Sheffield United. And Pedro Obiang from Sassuolo for 1.8 million. They also signed Harry Souttar from Stoke for 5.25 million. Outgoings there. Anthony Ralston has signed for Preston for 450k. Frankie Dean has gone to Hearts under-18s. And Osaze Urhoghide, no idea if that's how you say it, but that's what I'm going with, has gone to Coventry on loan. Now, Rangers. Daniel Podence in on deadline day for 10.25 million. Another deadline day signing, Minamino from Liverpool for around 8 million there. Lincoln from Santa Clara, 11.25 million. Jack Robinson from Sheffield United, 1.1 million. Sheffield United have got rid of a couple of their players to these Scottish clubs. Henrique, 700k from Lyon. Jesse Lingard has joined Rangers for 6.5 million. Outgoings, it's a lot of loanees that I can see. Joe Aribo signed for Olympiacos for 2.6 million. But yeah, 38 million spent this season for Rangers. Will those deadline day signings from both of those teams keep them in the division? We shall see next. So here we are at the end of the season. Did Celtic manage to get out of the relegation zone? Did Rangers get pulled into the relegation zone? Did their January signings work? Let's have a look. Unfortunately not. For Celtic, they got relegated in 19th place, 6 wins, 26 points. Rangers, however, managed to stay up, finishing in 16th place, the same amount of points as Aston Villa, just below them in 17th. 8 points above the relegation zone. Both of these teams were knocked out of the FA Cup in the 3rd round. That was where they came into the competition. That's the first point of entry for Premier League teams. Celtic were knocked out by a 2-0 defeat to Bournemouth. Rangers were knocked out by a 2-1 defeat to Manchester United. As you can see here, none of Celtic or Rangers players finished in the top scorer charts. The lowest on this list goes up to 11th, which is Mason Mount. And for the assists, Ryan Jack finished in 15th place with 7 assists. And that is it for that. Clean sheets, Alan McGregor kept 6 clean sheets in the season. Played 38 games and conceded 61 goals. Joe Hart for Celtic, 5 clean sheets, played 38 games and conceded 63 goals. So they are very close in that, only 2 goals in it. So Celtic go down to the Sky Bet Championship. Rangers hang on by the skin of their teeth for another season in the Premier League. Does that mean the Premier League is just a difficult league to break into? Watford getting relegated straight away as well. Brighton surprised me by going down there, but I did take Norwich out. Speaking of Norwich, shall we have a look in the Scottish Premier League to see how Norwich and Brentford did over there? Wow. Brentford absolutely walking it. 19 points clear of Aberdeen in 3rd place and 12 points clear of Norwich in 2nd. They absolutely stormed the division, and Norwich still a fair bit above Aberdeen in 2nd as well. I thought Norwich might have struggled a bit more than they did. They struggled in the Premiership. They have been a bit rejuvenated under Dean Smith, but I still think they're going to go down. Ivan Toney, as you can see, with 19 goals. Timu Pukki with 12. Billy Gilmore and Todd Cantwell lead the assists chart there. But there we have it. Celtic go down to the Championship. Rangers live to fight another day in the Premier League. Let me know in the comments what you thought of the video, and let me know what teams you think I should move to the Premier League to see how they do. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new. It really helps me out. It really pushes the videos out there as well, liking and subscribing. So thank you very much, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.